All right. So you both built your media empires from the ground up. Just talk about more of the difficulties, Rhonesha. You sort of touched on it moments ago, of getting your foot in the door and being placed on the radar of these agencies and strategists and media planners.
Yeah, so De'Von and I actually connected really deeply over this by, we are both, I'm 14 years in, he's 15 going on 16 years in, and we connected because we were both Black owned media companies working out of a co-working space where everyone else had an app and they were raising $1 million, $2 million, and then burning through and then raising 5 million because they failed and then they pivoted. And we were like, we're building these steady, strong businesses. How are we not getting access to capital that we need to actually grow and scale and not just survive, but thrive? So we just kind of really bonded over those barriers and obstacles. And it's funny because the first iteration of BOMESI, we didn't realize what it was at the time, but De'Von had the idea to create some type of entity called We the Media. And we ended up doing a panel called The State of Black Owned Media. And this is back in 2015 or 2016. It was very, very early days. And then, it's evolved since then to now be this formalized institute and this nonprofit. But I do want to give De'Von a chance to tell his part of the story, because sometimes I just leave things out.
I think, well, I was on mute before anyway, so it's good you, John. I'm often on mute when it comes to Zooms. I'm in media and I still get it wrong, right? At least once a day I'm on mute. No, Rhonesha touched on it. The hurdles, are beyond just what happens at the ad agency or at the marketing firm, or even at the brand. The first step really is knowing there's even a community out there for us to exist in. Which is, the foundation of like BOMESI. The first thing we did was start a database that Black-owned media could sign up for. And just to explain too, Black-owned media and Black-facing media are two different things, right? So there's a lot of brands, like a Viacom owns BET. So it faces Black-owned or Black community, but it's not owned by Black. At one point, Bob Johnson did own it, but he sold it for $3 billion. That's no longer a Black-owned media platform. So very oftentimes when people speak in Black media conversations, like, oh, we work with BET. And we're like, well, that's great. And that's wonderful, but you're really not helping the ecosystem. And one thing that Rhonesha and I definitely realized during the pandemic is that Black-owned media is a small business also, but it doesn't get the recognition or the support. Like somehow, because we exist in a creative space, storytelling, somehow that we're not a brick and mortar, right? We're not selling, soul food or t-shirts. So somehow we're not necessarily noticed when it comes to those support conversations. So we had to lean on each other as a community to say that we exist. And in doing that, that then said, oh, wait, if we don't see each other, then the people in the boardroom definitely don't see us, right? So of course they're gonna go to BET if that's all they see and all they know. So we know there's strength in numbers. So we wanted to make sure the excuse of we don't know you exist no longer exists as an excuse. And that's been good. And that has opened a lot of doors. It doesn't mean guaranteed deal flow. It doesn't mean guaranteed partnerships. It doesn't even mean that you may even be in business a year from now, but at least gives you a chance to be seen and compete for those ad dollars. And then we began the work of the next level was creating economic empowerment by challenging ad agencies and marketers to spend more money in Black-owned media. And then also making sure like we educated both sides, like the platforms and then also the ad agencies. Hey, this is where you guys may see other opportunity. We've learned very early on to say you were wrong or you messed up may cause some resistance. So we say there may be more opportunity working with these platforms through BOMESI or even on your own.